This is the Weighing In podcast with Rick and Gina. This podcast is a collaboration between Empower Weight Loss and Lifestyle Coaching and Next Step Lifestyle Coaching. In this episode, we discuss the many factors that drive us to want to eat, with many of them occurring below our conscious level of awareness in the moment. These nudges prove the case for why we all need to develop skills with foods that we can say yes to, early and often. So, should I eat something? Is coming up next.
Absolutely.
Okay, Gina, you and I thought the following topic would be a really good one for us to address. If you wanted to put a boring title on it, it might be The Factors That Determine When and Why We Eat. But I kind of like the whole, should I eat something? Because it's a question that a lot of people ask themselves. I ask myself that all the time. Should I eat something? Should I eat something? And there are just so many factors that go into it. So yesterday, no secrets here. We're up in New England. We had a big football game. Just describe what you just shared with me as you were watching this very stressful game against the Houston Texans.
Yes. So first of all, I noted Rick's shirt. So he's representing.
Yes.
We're in New England. We're Patriots fans. Fine. And it was so it was snowing. All right, let's start with it. It was snowing and it was slippery and you're watching the game and it was a messy game. There were a lot of fumbles. Interceptions. Drake May couldn't hold on to the ball. Like, it was just a mess. They did win, but it was like a nail biter. So the whole time I'm like walking around with all this nervous energy and I was like, I want to eat. All I want to do is eat. All I want to do is eat. I wasn't hungry. Right? Like, I wasn't hungry. I just wanted to eat because I needed a place to put that energy. And that's what we do. We eat.
I had the exact same experience. That's why I wanted you to repeat that. I had already eaten. I had a pretty good, it was a late lunch, but I hadn't eaten much. So I had a huge lunch. And this game was so stressful. During the commercial breaks, I caught myself more than once saying, I got to get something to eat. Yeah. Wait a minute, I already ate. I ate something. I just got to get something else to eat. It's unbelievable how we go to it.
Yeah. And then the other option, or drink. I know we're here to talk about food, but like there's that too. Yes. You can see why people drink so much beer.
Oh, yes. Or anything, really.
Right? Wine, whatever.
A glass of wine, sure.
Because you've got all this energy, you're nervous and you're stressed and you don't know where to put it. So what easier way than to eat or drink? And then here's the thing. This is what I was thinking. Like, okay, so when people do this, and we're going to talk about this more, but I'll just say it. When people feel nervous, feel stressed, and eat, let's say you eat potato chips, or let's say you drink wine, or whatever it is, you're just reinforcing a connection and a habit that doesn't need any help being reinforced. Isn't that true?
It's so built into us. It's such a reward. It's such an amazing reward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I did notice that.
So we want to talk about the different factors that nudge us in most cases to eat. There maybe there's one in particular, but most things nudge us. Some things shove us to wanting to eat. They're not all equal. But I think one of the takeaways here, just to say it up front, is a lot of these things happen beneath our awareness.
Right.
And the average person, not to say this in a disparaging way whatsoever, but the average person who's not in this line of work or doesn't ask the tough questions or sit with trying to answer the tough questions walks through their life and their struggles with their weight are largely a mystery, filled with judgment, and they are often asking the wrong questions or blaming the wrong things. And I'm hoping that as we just go through, I don't know if we can cover them all, but I've got 7 things. I'm going to just ask you to respond to them.
Okay? That's awesome.
But by going through these, slowing them down just a little bit, maybe fostering just a little bit more self-awareness for people.
Yeah.
So that they can see like, oh, this happens to everyone. These are real nudges that move me towards wanting to eat something. And then in understanding that, maybe be a little bit more kind to ourselves because we are often brutal in our self judgments. But maybe most importantly, having more awareness around the different factors that lead you to eating really
Mhm.
does set a much stronger foundation for planning and problem solving appropriately because you're really sort of getting at the root cause
Mhm.
of the issue. So
So I'll
that
say two things before you give me your list. One is that we often talk with our members about where does awareness or mindfulness fit into long-term weight management, and I think this is sort of a good conversation leaning in that direction. And then the other thing is that there's I sometimes find that people, because losing weight and managing your weight in this culture is so hard, people will come to me and say, I don't always eat poorly. And so they tend to focus on the things that they're doing that are good, because some of the overlearned conditioned responses like mindless eating is so automatic that they're not aware. And so I hope to bring that level of awareness for people. And it is a practice. It takes some time, but we're just sort of scratching the surface to get the conversation started. Don't you agree with that? Like,
I
people
to-
just are not aware. So,
totally. And I think I like that term mindless eating. Again, it's not, I think it's a good descriptor. It's not meant to be a dig on
not
anyone
at
because it
all.
could be interpreted that way. It's just not thoughtful,
Right.
not aware.
Yeah.
And for me personally, like slowing things down just for a moment,
Yeah.
just pausing, which can
Yes.
help to foster that aware. It's just not the way it is. It's more automatic, mindless, use whatever adjective that you want there.
Yeah.
So here's what I thrown this out to you when we first talked about this. I'd like to save what I think is the biggest factor for last,
Okay.
if we could. We have to make sure we get to that. But again, we're not rank ordering these. These all nudge us in the direction of certainly asking the question, "Should I eat something?" And
Right.
usually saying the answer is usually yes. So
Right.
let's start with it's an indictment of the culture, but it absolutely affects every one of us as an individual, and that is just simply dun 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 the availability of tempting food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do I want to say about this? There's so much to say.
There
Um,
is.
well, let's start with a football game. Look at the commercials. You never see a commercial for broccoli, a dancing broccoli stalk. I mean, the messaging, the availability of it, you can get food. DoorDash comes to mind.
Yes. Yes. It's so funny you mentioned that one. I literally this the last 2 weekends, I watch so much damn football. I have to
Yeah,
justify it by
I
doing
know.
some exercise while I'm doing it. So
Yeah.
I'll be on a treadmill or whatever. But I've stopped multiple times and I've grabbed my phone. I watch it on my big iPad and I've recorded the commercials.
Hmm.
The Taco Bell commercial comes to mind.
Hmm.
So there's about 4 or 5 of them that are just, they keep playing them over and over, but they are gloriously done.
Yeah.
Like the food looks
Yeah.
insanely good. And then I noticed this. I'll put this video together at some point. They've clearly done their test marketing and they know that when you take the delicious food and show it going into someone's, perfect teeth, the whole mouth going, like
Yes,
this
yes,
into the
yes, yes,
mouth,
yes.
huge bite of the delicious food. It's all just really crisp and clean. Every one of them shows that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So here you are, you're trying so hard to, stay on your program, and you've even got some momentum, and you just see commercial after commercial of people biting into delicious food, and it's
that's right.
glorious.
Yes.
I mean, you can see where people struggle.
I mean, you're literally just trying to not think about food.
Right.
I just not even think about it. But the last thing you want to probably do is watch TV. Certainly the football games.
No, football's the worst. So my son's staying with me right now. He's recovering from an injury, and so all of a sudden the doorbell rings. It's like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, who is at the door? It's DoorDash, or I should say Uber Eats.
Hmm.
I mean, Grubhub, you pick your poison. I'm like, what did you get? Because you can't drive. Oh, I just wanted to get JP Licks. I felt like having some frozen yogurt. Now, I guess it's good that it's frozen yogurt, but
Wow.
just the availability of that. It's at your door.
Frozen
Hello?
yogurt. Oh my God.
They
I
can
mean, that
deliver
is
frozen yogurt.
that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
It is. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, let's just, continue the fuddy-duddy old person talk here. So all young people today have sort of been conditioned to, obviously, we've talked about the comfort crisis, immediate gratification rules of the day. We're all subject to it, right? It's built
yes,
into us. But as kids, my kids think I am nuts to go to the grocery store. Why aren't you Instacarting?
I know.
Like, what is wrong with you?
I know.
And maybe there is something wrong with it. I remember there was a time when we all thought, oh, I'll never get things delivered to me from this. What's this place called? Amazon?
Ha,
Remember it was like
ha.
this
Yeah.
whole giving them my credit card. It was just a very
Yes,
sketchy situation. So things evolve. Things
they
do change.
do. Yeah. But I mean, that is the quintessential availability food.
So, okay, so let me give you, you're going to remember this one from the old days, a classic 1992 study. Fantastic. Do you remember this one? It was the Navy did an experiment with two battleships. One was given, you ready? 6 months at sea.
Yeah.
They were fed standard Navy fare, barbecue pork chops, French fries, brown gravy, etc., etc., etc.
Hmm.
That was one of them. We will call that the USS Pork Chop. It was actually the USS Peterson, but we'll call it the USS Pork Chop. And then the other one, the USS Scott, they were served plenty of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, low fat, milk, entrees like baked chicken, unbuttered rice, pinto beans. So the availability of food, you tend to eat what's in your environment, right?
Right.
Obviously, there are consequences in either direction. So the other one was USS Pork Chop. We'll call this the healthy food, the USS String Bean. Okay.
I
Waist
remember.
circumference on the USS String Bean. Do you remember this?
I remember this. Yeah, I don't remember the details, but I remember the study
Down
from.
2 inches. Waist
Yeah.
measurement on the USS Pork Chop over 6 months, plus 1.5 inches. Cholesterol on the USS String Bean down. Cholesterol on the USS Pork Chop increased. Average weight change on the USS String Bean down 12 pounds. Average weight gain on the USS Pork Chop up 7 pounds, a 19-pound difference in
Wow.
6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are a product of what is in your environment for sure.
Isn't that like, and so we've always said in the
Absolutely.
program, with very few exceptions, if it's there, you'll eat it.
Yes.
If it's not there, you can't eat it.
Yes. So I
So
guess the good
that's,
news yesterday is I didn't have too much. I went for a lot of fruit
yeah, good. Well, because it was there.
because
You
it was
had it.
there.
Yeah. How often do people find themselves short without foods they can say yes to? Totally
Mhm.
subject to the environment. And then it's just a matter of rationalizing that slippery slope till you finally just give in and try to make yourself feel good about it.
Yeah. So what was
Uh,
the quote from one of our many trainings together? If you want to don't make it about changing the environment. You want to create lasting change. Don't make it about relying on willpower. Make it about controlling the environment or something like that.
yeah, I remember. I can't
Something to
remember the
that effect.
exact soundbite, but
It was a good
so,
one.
but this is a huge flaw in people's thinking.
Yes.
You plug yourself into this culture, okay? And the results are predictable, high calories
Mhm.
on average every day. So, and then where do people point the finger? At themselves.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
At themselves.
Judge, 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 beat yourselves up. And then that just makes it worse.
What's wrong with me? My
Yeah.
body's broken, et
Yeah.
cetera, et cetera.
I can't do this. I'm a failure. Why bother? And then it
So,
opens the door to more.
absolutely, very
And
fatalistic thinking. So, it's the environment that is broken, if we could just kind of use that
yeah.
phrase, not people's bodies. We're
Mhm.
trying to do something very hard in an environment that just doesn't work or support it in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so that's our number one, the incredible availability of tempting food, just barely touching on the tip of the iceberg there. Okay, you ready for another factor? What else makes us say, gee, should I eat or eat some more? Portion size.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. So, well, first of all, let's just discuss the fact that portion sizes have significantly increased. So, this is my great example. Okay. So when I was a kid growing up, we bought Lender's bagels, the frozen, remember those frozen Lender's bagels? Because that was like what a bagel was. It was like, I think it was like 1.5 ounces. Fine. You had to defrost it. It was frozen. Then all of a sudden the bagel industry went bananas
That's right.
and the bagels grew to like the size of my head. Like they
Yeah. There's a little shop, mom and pop shop that the line's out the door. They are ridiculously big.
yeah.
Softballs. They look like softballs. They're not even like bagels. They're like almost round because they're so big. Yeah,
But of
that's a great
course, if you
example.
get that, you're only going to eat half
Oh, yes.
because
Right.
everybody does that.
No, forget it. No,
No.
no, you have to go to a bagel museum to find the kinds that, many years ago were the norm. The average fast food meal since the 50s is triple. You're still getting a burger, still getting a fry, still getting a
Yeah.
sugar-filled soft drink. It's 3 times the calories of what it was in the late 50s, early 60s. So portion size. The thing that's insidious about this one is people are really unaware
Yeah.
of this as a factor that has them eating more, because you have this unit bias. It's just like, well, that's the size, that's the bagel. I'm going to
Right.
have the bagel. I'm going to have the muffin.
Right.
That's it says big grab on it, but it's just one bag of chips.
Right.
So you just sort of say like that's it. We're terrible at estimating calories just innately. No one
Right.
can do that. So it's all about like the external cue, just looking at
Right.
it. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's what it is, size
Well, I
wise.
only had one,
Right.
right? But if the one is a king size Snickers bar, that's like, 600 or whatever. Um, so I agree with you 100%. I think people are not good at estimating portion size really. And so I just had one.
No,
Yeah.
terrible, terrible. And then after you think back, oh, it wasn't that much. I mean, it's just so
Right.
easy to fall into that thinking. I have to insert, I didn't have it for here, but I had a bizarro experience where my son and I went out to Utah and long trip. And he's like, hungry, 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 dad. And I want to order pizza. Okay, okay, okay. So I called the place and it's late. It's like approaching midnight. Okay, yeah, yeah, we'll be there. And so I just got a large pizza. And when you see this photo, you're going to lose your mind. So, first of all, after an hour, they hadn't come. And he's like, I'm not even hungry anymore. I'm going to bed. So now I'm stuck getting the pizza. Gina, it arrived. It was I've never seen a bigger pizza box in my life. I'm going to insert it here for people who are watching this either on YouTube, this conversation, or watching the video version of this on Spotify. You will not believe the size of this thing, and I will show it to
Really?
you.
Bigger
It's
than Costco?
bigger than any pizza you've ever seen. And so here I am. But the irony of it is I'm like, okay, we'll get pizza. And then it takes so long. Like I'm there
Yeah.
with the pizza by myself.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, crazy.
Wait, do I get to see a picture of it? I want to see a picture of it.
I don't. Yeah. You know what we'll do? I'll show
I'll
it
use
to
my
you.
imagination.
I'll show it to you and I'll insert your reaction back into
Okay.
this video. Okay, breaking in here. I just inserted the picture of the pizza box and I texted it to Gina, and here was her response. Sounds like she's in the car.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me with that? That is unbelievable. I have never seen something so big. I mean, that actually looks like a wall hanging. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, so portion size, people are completely unaware of the fact that how much is there
Mm-hmm.
influences how much you will eat. Do you remember the classic popcorn study? That was they give some of these researchers are complete sadists.
Is this the one where they gave them like stale popcorn?
Yes, yes. So these poor moviegoers, unsuspecting, they're given
Yeah.
free popcorn. They're given
Yeah.
different sizes, and of course, the bigger the size, the more popcorn they ate, the more calories they ate. But they even, God knows why they did this, they gave them 2-week-old stale popcorn. And it didn't change the findings at all. It's like if it was there, you would eat it. And the more that was there, the more you ate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
100%. 100%. Yeah. That's a big
Unbelievable.
reason why people eat. And again, going back to like not even knowing that, and again, no diss, no, we're not saying anything bad. It just is. And so to bring people's attention to it. So
Yes,
like,
and it's your brain, your physiology responding exactly how it's supposed to, or how it was supposed to throughout all of history when food was scarce and eating meant survival. If there was more there, you ate it. And if it was bigger, great, you ate it. So, okay, so one of the things as I was going through these, so we've talked about the incredible availability of food. If it's there, you'll eat it. Portion size is bigger than ever, and therefore we're eating more than ever just because people are unaware. Every one of these, you know how you're always better than me at saying, I want to make sure we come to a solution for all of these things. Mm-hmm. Every one of these reinforces our whole approach, which is practice a to-do approach, yes. Continue to develop skills on low-calorie foods that you can say yes to, that you enjoy, supported by environmental control.
100%. So the answer is, if you're listening to this and you notice, oh yeah, I do that, or oh yeah, that happens and I'd like to change it, focus on what you can do and then have a very clean, supportive environment that you can say yes to.
That's exactly right. Yeah. But what do people try to change? They don't.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Say it.
They try to change. They try not to eat. I'm going to eat less, or what they can't do or don't want to do, or all of that, the negative stuff. You're going to say it better than me.
They try to change in their built-in, baked-in
right.
responses that all human beings have. Let me just say no to tasty food. What are you, crazy?
Right. Especially if it's there, especially when all the triggers are there, like you're stressed or, it's available or whatever. So it's interesting.
Absolutely. So it's all really just in the service of creating a stronger and stronger argument with each factor that we review here, why it's so important that you take on like a mission in your life. And this is what all of our program members have done, to develop a foundation of healthy foods, low calorie density, and as many different versions of that you can enjoy, so that you have foods that you can say yes to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the shakes are great for that. I have this fun saying, when in doubt, shake it out. Kind of a rhymey thing, and it's a good one. Shakes are great. High protein shakes, they work.
Always my favorite, number one go-to. I mean, I'm a huge fruit and veggie fan, just like you, but to me, the impact player is the shakes. Yeah. I've said this on previous discussions we've had, but no one said it better than one of our program members. The shakes are unique in that they separate you from old habits more effectively than any other food choices that you can make. It's
100%.
It's just you are just so clearly sending a signal to yourself. I am focusing on managing my cat whenever you make one of our shakes. Fortunately, they're tasty and huge, which is great.
They are, and they're high in protein, which is big discussion point these days in the world.
It sure is. Yeah. But you want good lean protein.
Yeah.
Right?
That'll be our next podcast.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack there. We might need to swing the pendulum a little back from the direction it's gone.
Yes.
Okay. So you ready for the next one? Okay. So our next factor and this is another one, you're unaware that it's having you eat more, totally below your conscious awareness. Variety. Not just that the food is there, and we already talked about the size of food. Now, just the fact that there are different foods will lead you to eating more. And the research is very clear on this. Humans thrive on variety. When more options are present, the consumption will go up. And I think one of the classic examples is, we've used this one a lot. I'm sure you've used this a lot. There you are. You're at let's say a dinner party, and the host is like, "Can I get you another serving in the meal?" And you're like, "Oh no, so full, could not eat another bite." "Oh well, I'm bringing dessert in." "Oh well, suddenly I think I found a little bit of room." Variety.
Yeah. Well, think about buffets. I mean, really, like that's. And I grew up. Buffets were huge. A Chinese food buffet. I mean, why do we need 17 kinds of fried something or other? You know what I mean? It's like, here's one for you, Oreos.
Oh,
we talked about this.
You love this one. Yes.
When I grew up, there was one Oreo. One. And then the double stuff was a big deal. You walk into the store now, and you guys at home do this, try this, go to your grocery store and just look at maybe that's not good. Look at the Oreos, right? There's like 17 different kinds of Oreos.
I'll take your Oreos and raise you Pop-Tarts. I grew up, I think there were 3 kinds of Pop-Tarts. And boy, were those, we hardly ever had those in the house. Those were just my mom and dad have lost their minds. Oh my God, this incredible food. But anyway, 400 calories a packet, 200 per pastry. That's rough. You do some real damage there. But yeah, so variety, just having more options available. I don't know if you remember this one. This was a classic study. We did it in one of our Healthy Solutions lunches. When people were given a meal that had, so you had your protein and grain, but then they were served their favorite vegetable, right? On another day, same people served same entree, but they were served 3 different vegetables, same size as their favorite. Consistently across all subjects, people ate more when greater variety was present, even when on day one it was their favorite. So they actually ate like
Yeah, I remember that.
isn't that, yeah. So the variety actually trumped taste and it being your favorite. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, I don't remember that study, but that is fascinating.
Yeah. So
Variety.
why I like that study is because we're taking this thing that you could look at it as just a problem, which is, and it is a problem, the insane variety of tempting foods. The fact that it's not just a half a dozen, but hundreds and hundreds of, we eat more. We eat more. So, but now we've just taken with that vegetable study, we've just taken this inbred tendency of we need variety, we crave variety, and we've used it to our advantage. More vegetables, more different flavors of shakes that you prepare, go right down the list, more lean proteins that you enjoy that are healthy. It supports you in staying on track more because it'll support you to eat more of the healthy stuff that ultimately is what we're going for.
Right. So you want to limit your choices, but within those choices, have as much variety as you possibly can, because the science shows that you'll eat more of those foods.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
One thing I want to say too about the Oreos and the Doritos and the potato chips, and is that the food industry knows that people eat more when there's more variety. So they love that, and they keep doing that, and they keep churning them out because they know we're going to eat more of them. And, they don't care about your waistline. They don't care about your cholesterol level. They care about one thing and one thing only, and that is to make more money. And that's fine. That's their job. Like, kudos to them. They're doing their thing. But like, we just need to be aware that this is all done sort of on purpose, and we just need to be aware of it. So
such a good point. They're not doing it to lose money.
Right.
They know that more variety increases intake, period. And that's our whole point here. And the problem is most of what's available out there doesn't help with weight management. So you got to be on your own island of sorts. You mentioned the food industry. So again, I like how you presented that in terms of not demonizing them. It's not like they're up in their, how can we raise the blood sugars of the average American? They're just doing their jobs, and they probably, some very good people think they're doing a great thing because of that, so no blame there. But I will just say that there is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and what they have at their disposal in terms of figuring out how to hijack the human brain, they are in their finest hour.
Yeah, no doubt.
You and I have talked about this before. It's so funny you mentioned the food industry, because I wanted to just mention some of the terms that are being used now that I never heard in the first 20 years of my work, of this work. Hyperpalatable.
I knew you were going to say that word.
Hyperpalatable.
Like, I never heard that word ever before until this, right?
No.
Palatable. It sounds so fancy.
Yes. But like hyper palatable. Like, talk about hijacking the brain. Super addictive.
Yeah.
Using the word super in front of it. Ultra processed. We certainly know that one. And then here's a quote for you from this study in 2018. Such foods often contain high amounts of salt, sugar, fat, and flavor additives, and are engineered to have, here's another one for you, supernormal appetitive properties, driving increased consumption. Yes, that's a quote.
Supernormal
appetitive properties. So there are a bunch of polysyllabic words for us there that all just basically say they are trying to figure out how to hijack your brain because it works well for them in terms of the business that they're in. And then here we are saying, why can't I stop eating these stupid Doritos?
Right.
By the way, Doritos is another one, which is will shock you how many different flavors there are.
I know,
Shock
and
you.
I think every year they come out like, don't they like during the, isn't there like a contest or something? Um, like during this football season, like come, I don't know. Maybe that's potato chips, maybe that's Lay's or something. I'm not really sure, but
I don't know, but whether it's Doritos or Lay's, what I do know, and we presented a study on this one at one point, they had figured out the exact degree of, I think they used the word salience,
yeah,
the crunch, the sound of the
yeah,
crunch.
yes.
They've even looking at not just how it feels in your mouth, getting the perfect pounds per square inch of the perfect
Mhm.
crunch for their chips, but it's how does it sound even to your ears when you're eating it? I mean, they are so far beyond checkers here in
Yeah,
terms of
yeah. And people
wow,
are paying a whole lot of money for that. You know what I mean? To get the crunch right. It's kind of crazy.
absolutely incredible. So, just underscoring that um, not all processed foods are bad.
Right.
I think the guidelines that they use to determine if something is ultra processed. There are some foods in there that you'd say that one's really that's not that bad, like a yogurt or something. I think a better way to talk about these foods that hijack our brains is to just go back to the unholy trifecta there of salt, sugar, fat.
Yeah.
Salt,
Yes.
sugar, fat, salt, sugar, fat, salt, sugar, fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
The,
100%.
these
Because like to your point, like frozen vegetables are processed,
right,
right?
right.
Now, and that doesn't even include the ones that have anything added to them, just regular, because it's a processing to get them to be frozen. They're
That's right.
fine.
That's right.
Do they include the trifecta, sugar, fat, and salt?
That's the
That's it.
razor that cuts
Yeah.
through it all. It's kind of analogous with remember when we had talked about people throw carbs out the window? Oh, carbs are
Mhm.
bad. It's like,
That's
hey,
right.
newsflash, fruits and veggies are carbs. People don't
That's right.
realize that. So it's like they don't it's a very unsophisticated way of looking at carbs, but I think also the whole process, anything processed is bad
Yeah.
is not the way to look at this.
Exactly, exactly. And I think the problem is, and this is what I want to get out to the world, is that read beyond the headline. The headline gets out there, people glom onto it, they attach to it, and then they run with that and without enough information around it. So here we are telling you not all processed food is bad. Does it have sugar, fat, and salt? If it does, okay, probably put that back and get something else. But we're here to say that frozen vegetables are processed. Yogurt is processed, but yogurt is insanely good for you. You know, there's some better than others, obviously, but get the point. So,
Don't take away my total cereal or my plain Cheerios. No, I'm
right,
serious. I use those
right,
all the time with fruit and skim milk. It's a huge dessert for me. Huge.
they are
Okay,
processed. Right, good. We got
they
the
are
point.
processed. They're processed. So salt, sugar, fat, that unholy trifecta. Oh, and an interesting question for anyone who's listening is, can you name a naturally occurring food in the world that is high in all three of those? And that's a good question to ask your social groups and let them all spend their time trying to figure something out. Closest you might be able to get is olives with a high level of healthy fat and
Yeah.
sodium. But there is none. There's no food in the naturally
What about,
occurring world
I
that's
have one.
high fat in all three. Really?
Ooh, coconut doesn't have salt.
No.
It has fat.
Yeah.
It
All
has,
three. Only the food industry has been able to manipulate the dose, and I think that's the right word, the
yeah.
dose of fat, sugar, and salt, and then presenting it as we've just said, endless variety, the buffets, endless portions, it never ends. Okay, human brain that's never had to deal with any of this before.
Right.
I want you to say no to all of it, and when you're unsuccessful, blame yourself. This is basically what happens.
Right.
It's
Right.
unbelievable. I mean, no one thinks like this, generally in society.
Well, the reason it's called the Weighing In podcast is because what we're trying to do is weigh in on the things that nobody talks about and like take it apart and unpack it so that people who listen will understand better and have a fighting chance at managing their weight and their
Thank
health.
you for bringing that up. I forgot
Feed
we
the
were
environment.
recording. I thought I was just yelling at my computer. Okay, so availability, endless, portion size, bigger than ever. The whole idea of variety will foster more intake, faster intake. This next one we can cover quickly. It's a really hard one. Social eating, which is
Yes.
we tend to eat more when we're with people who are eating. It's just that simple. Its studies are really clear on this.
So many studies. I've read
Oh.
so many studies about this.
Yeah. So it's just it's a social tendency that's built into our biology to, oh, someone's eating. Hey, maybe I'll have something. Hey, come on, here you go. You don't even have to be encouraged, but then the encouragement actually, hey, here, have one. These are great. You got to try one. You got to try one.
100%. And then there's that whole pressure part that comes with that too. You know, there's so much tied into that one. But yes, that's a reason that people eat outside of hunger, which I know we're getting to.
We're getting to it. So the last thing I'll just say about the social one, we had talked about this on another podcast too, which is that isn't it such a topsy-turvy world where it's such a conditioned thing that when you say, no, I'm good, a lot of people actually take to some degree and take offense at it. You're not going to try my cookie? I mean, I spent some time on, no, come on, try it. Come on, have a bite. Come on. Right?
They take it personally.
Yeah. So not only are you fighting your innate, inbred desire to conform socially, but you are now also at the risk of offending someone.
Right. Yeah. So that just adds to the mix. Social pressure for sure is out there.
So I handle those pretty straightforward. I'm, and I know you're the same way. You're hardly a wallflower when it comes to advocating for your own food. People don't tend to do that to me because they kind of know, like, well, you know, he's clear about my boundaries.
Yeah, you have to kind of establish those. And I always say to my members, you know, think about the person who has celiac disease. Like, they can't have gluten or wheat. So to them, it's like it's a non-issue. That's not my food. And it becomes clear. So if you can kind of approach it from that standpoint when you're talking to other people, it's hard though at the beginning when it's hard, but
I think it's always hard. I think these are the conversations people avoid. Yeah.
They're definitely hard. So,
but again, it just makes your job of managing calories harder if you're going to avoid those conversations as opposed to, you know, advocating for yourself. Now, how to do it diplomatically and gracefully and elegantly, that's a whole nother conversation to have, but you got to advocate for yourself. Okay, here's another quickie. Conditioned habits. The classic being, let me put on the TV and let me go grab something to eat.
Yeah, associations with eating and TV. I had a member who once said that she made a connection with a chair that she sat in. That she always ate so she had to move the chair. She got a different chair.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I've had people say just driving, like to have something to eat when driving. You know, our brains are pattern recognition machines. That's what they do. We connect dots even when they shouldn't be connected. And how many times does someone sit, just to use the TV example, and grab something to eat? All you're doing is strengthening that connection over again.
And often it is mindless. There's a lot of eating that goes on for all the reasons we just talked about, that it just becomes this mindless thing. And then you wonder, oh, I ate the whole, you know, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah. So let's invoke what you mentioned up front in mindfulness. It's a good question. What are my patterns around like conditioned behaviors that I associate with food? It doesn't mean all of them are bad. And again, you can kind of circumnavigate around that with the to-do approach. You know, if you can come up with your list of things that, hey, I'm not going to not eat when I'm watching TV, but what I am going to do is change what I'm eating so that the calorie consequences aren't
100%.
Rising so high.
And that works.
It does work.
Because now it's not about not eating and having willpower and white knuckling it till the next day. It's about giving yourself permission to eat, but choose something that's a lower calorie option that's not going to have such a consequence. Yes. I have to just give a quick example of this. So I've shared that I quit drinking about 5 years ago, and one of the associations I made with that, and it's true for alcohol or food, is that when I would come home from work, you know, the desire that it was a connection. And I thought, okay, well, I'm trying to quit that, just to change that. So I would buy the non-alcoholic beers, the non-alcoholic wines, and I remember in my research, there's a line of non-alcoholic products called Ritual. And I remember stopping and thinking that is the best name because it's the ritual of it that was often the hardest thing to break. The ritual, the habit of coming home and pouring into the glass every day, than it was actually the alcohol. Although the alcohol had its issues, or whatever the thing is, it's the ritual, it's the habit, the conditioned response. And so having something else to pour into the glass was brilliant. And it worked.
Such a good example.
Worked.
Yeah.
At least it worked for me.
Oh, the habit of coming home and pouring a drink. I mean, how often is it, should I or shouldn't I? We've completely bypassed that whole decision anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the morning, I said I wasn't going to do it. But then as the day goes on,
yes,
well, maybe I'll just have one. And it's the same with food, right? Today's going to be the day. I'm not going to have anything out of the box. I'm not going to have anything that's a high calorie, whatever, right? And then, well, I've been good today, so I can just have this one thing, and then off you go. So.
Absolutely. So yeah, conditioned habits, automatic connections between behaviors and eating. It's a good question to ask. Where do I do this? And if nothing else, just to be more aware.
Yeah, I think that's the key.
Okay, last one before we hit the big kahuna. This one, we can just refer back to a podcast that we did. Emotional eating. A biggie.
Yeah.
A biggie.
Well, that kind of goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning with the Patriots game, the stress.
Absolutely.
So we came full circle.
Yep. So negative emotions land, however, for whatever reason, and they are a problem to solve. I don't like feeling fill in the blank. Anxious, depressed, sad, fill in the blank, right? Is there anything more effective than, I'll just say, like a gooey chocolate chip cookie? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
It's quick, it's easy, it satisfies.
Oh, it works. I mean, just think about eating that cookie, Gina, just for a minute. Does it change how you feel in the moment? Literally in the moment.
In the moment, yes, it does.
It completely changes how you feel.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing better.
Or pizza, whatever it is.
Whatever your thing is.
Yeah, right? Whatever your thing is. Oh my, that's just a little party, a little like island of happiness right there in that Dorito. And then, there's usually not just one. Right. So yeah, that's a biggie. That's a biggie.
Well, and the other thing I'll say, and this is on the other side of the coin, is that it doesn't have to be negative. Like people eat for happy too, for celebration. I mean, how much, right? Do we eat to celebrate an engagement, to celebrate a birthday? I mean, I say birthday, you say cake.
Yeah.
You don't say present.
Cake. That's great. When I say Christmas, you say cake. Oh, wait a minute. No, maybe you might say presents in that one. Christmas cake.
Here's one. I say barbecue, you say
burgers.
Yeah, right. You don't say watermelon.
No.
I mean, you could eat watermelon at a barbecue, but the first thing that comes anyway. So the point being,
corn. I say corn. No, you say burgers.
Tomato salad.
Yeah. All right. So the emotional eating, see our podcast on that. And again, I'll just come back to the best way, besides let's be more aware of, do I really want, and usually the answer is, yeah, I do, because I'm not feeling great. It just comes back to, have you cultivated your list of reliable to-do behaviors that you enjoy and that you can say yes to? That's what we do in our program. And then also supported by environmental control. If those gooey cookies just came out of the oven, and that's something that's always around, that's going to be hard to say no to.
100%. So we did miss one, but I'm going to say boredom. We eat for boredom.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, boredom. I didn't have that one down. Absolutely.
And I think you could tie that to kind of conditioned responses because,
I think also to emotional eating.
Yeah.
Because the emotions can just be that being bored is not comfortable.
Right.
Think about it.
Yes. Yes.
I think both of that. Boredom, for sure, conditioned responses, but also emotional eating. And let's face it, all of these are happening in our heads. It's all woven together in a very complicated web of things that nudge us towards eating, oftentimes, foods that we didn't really, in hindsight, want to eat in the first place.
And it's a cool conversation because it allows us to put out there, like sort of unpack it and put it on the table, so that hopefully people can do that themselves. Like, instead of it being like a knee-jerk thing. Like, okay, let me think about that for a minute. And
All right, last one, which really is the first one. All of these others are at times powerful, often, but this one is the most powerful. If those other ones nudge us or like send signals to eat, this is the one that sends an alarm to eat. It was the number one warning system throughout all of history that you better eat something and you better eat it soon. And that is hunger. So Gina, what do we talk about in our program in terms of solving this problem?
well, we say you should never get hungry. Don't get hungry. I mean, so we talk a lot about being proactive and planning ahead and using the tools in your toolbox so that you don't get hungry. Because when you go too long, like when you're physically hungry, and a lot of people don't even know what that really feels like, or at least that's what my members tell me, you're in trouble.
I can relate. Yep.
You're in trouble because you're going to start, you're not going to stop. It's a blood sugar, physiological, mental cascade of events. So planning, supporting, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks,
Yes.
all of that, and using the tools, nutrient dense, high protein, high volume tools so you don't get hungry, because that's the kiss of death in my opinion.
Yeah. For most people, volume. I mean, even if you're not a volume eater, there is still this idea of I'm eating till I'm full. Because if you're not full, there's just a whole cascade of messages in your body that you're not done yet. So that's, I think, what the program is uniquely suited to address in terms of a problem. If you're going to say, I want to make up a number, 20 pounds, 100 pounds, and you haven't figured out the fact that you're not going to just learn how to be hungry. And people have actually said that. Yeah, you just have to learn to be hungry if you really want to lose weight.
You have to tolerate it. Yeah.
Wrong. Totally wrong. You can be full. How many of our members say this? It's the biggest epiphany in the program for people. You can be full and you can be satisfied and you can not have eaten anywhere near the calories that you come into the program eating, and it leads to weight loss.
Yeah. And in fact, I've had some members say to me that they feel like, how can it possibly work? Like they'll have a week, they'll come in and they say, oh, I ate a lot this week. All good food, all low calorie food in their toolbox, but I ate so much this week, and I'll look at my numbers, and they always lose weight. So you can feel one way, but the numbers tell a different story. So yeah, the whole concept of eating more food, of the right food,
different food,
different food, low calorie food, not bad food, good food, just lower calorie food. It works.
It really
gives
works.
you something to say yes to.
That's right.
Right? Isn't it always easier to say yes than it is to always have to say no?
Oh, to me, it's the biggest benefit of the whole thing. I can enjoy my food with a whole lot of psychological freedom about it. Not a lot of hang-ups.
Yeah.
Just freedom, as you say.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. This is good. We could go on and on.
Well, I think these are all these factors that are just really important. They all affect us. They all are sort of voices in the room, but the hunger again is the one that shouts the loudest. So more than anything, you've got to develop some high volume recipes that you can enjoy. So that's number one, and the rest just sort of follow the to-do approach supported with environmental control. And of course, we should probably throw in along with an active lifestyle, just because when you're physically active, it reinforces your commitment to eat healthy.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So if you're looking for a takeaway, what can I do? Set up an environment that supports you, that you can say yes to. Lots of good fruits and vegetables. Bring in your shakes, your lean proteins. And if you have questions about that, reach out to us. We can help you with that, right, Rick?
Absolutely. I think both of our programs are listed in the notes. So people can go right there and find it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I don't think covering all these reasons eliminated anyone's desire to eat, because wasn't the goal. It was to create greater awareness around what leads to the desire to eat, and in that awareness, create a better foundation for a more thoughtful approach to how one will handle or manage their weight loss and weight management.
Yeah, this was good. Hope it helps.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Great conversation. And go Patriots.
Yeah, go Pats.
Okay. Talk soon.